Dianah, your dedication to supporting widows is so inspiring and very remarkable. And I know that you've been working with them for years. So I'm quite curious to hear from you some of the injustice and challenges that the women you work with find themselves battling.
Most of the cases that widows are battling with are eviction cases, because most of the widows are being evicted by the in-laws. Whenever a husband dies, the in-laws say that the widow doesn't qualify to continue living in that home. And more so when they are young widows, there comes allegations that maybe this widow has another affair outside. They just create something and they eventually evict the widows. And this has been a great challenge, because you find these women, most of them are young, they're sent away with the children. And this has also resulted to other bigger problems. When they lack a place to call home, it's either the children are going to end up in the streets, and then the widows might also end up in becoming commercial sex workers. This is one of the greatest problems that we have had, especially for the widows living in the urban areas. The other problem you find is about the harmful cultural and traditional practices that widows are facing, because there are those communities that are still clinging on to these harmful cultural traditional practices, which are forms of abuse that people really have clinged on, saying this is our culture and we cannot leave this. And one of these is the culture of widow cleansing. You find widows are still being cleansed at this age and at this period of time. We are in a century where widows should not be cleansed. They should not go through widow cleansing, because death is inevitable. Anybody can die.
For people who are watching and don't even understand what this cleansing, widows cleansing is talking about, this is a practice that actually involves the widow sleeping with or having sex with the brother or relative of her late husband, or a complete stranger as well. Dianah, can you share with us some of the challenges that women face specifically in the legal settings as they navigate grief and also try to get, what is rightfully theirs?
Our system is corrupt and the widows don't get justice. If you happen to visit our courts, and especially Milimani Law Court in Nairobi, the files that are lying in that court, especially the family court, those are the cases of the succession. The succession process is so long and very tedious in our country, and expensive to widows who cannot afford to pay for a lawyer. So when they go to seek this advice from the lawyers, the widows maybe have to sell some of the property that they can be able to sell. They keep on paying the lawyers, and then the lawyers either represent them in court whenever they feel like, and the judges keep on postponing the material day where they're supposed to make a final ruling on the succession issue. Then the other issue, you find that I have had a case of a widow whose husband died out of a road accident, and the insurance paid the widow, but the lawyer is the one who ended up getting the money, because the lawyer lied to the widow to sign the papers. When the widow signed the papers, she didn't know that this money was going to the lawyer's account. And when the lawyer received the money, he just decided to change his phone number, and he moved out of the office that the widow knew. So when I told the widow, can you take me to this office? And she took me to that office, and we were told this person moved out of this place and he is no longer here. So you find even the society, the people that widows are running to, thinking that these are the people who are going to help them. They're the people who are continuing this culture of widow abuse.
Thank you, Dianah. Just as we round up, can you really share with us what your organization actually do for these widows in your community?
We deal with women like Lucia, most of them who are widows, that whenever they lose their property, we refer them to our office. They come to our office. We have a legal advisor who listens to their cases, and she is able to advise accordingly. And we work closely with organizations and commissions like Ombudsman, FIDA, CRU, and many other women rights organizations. And once our cases go to Ombudsman, that is one of the commissions that has really helped so many widows to get justice and to get their grabbed properties back. So for a woman like Lucia, we will be able now to start a journey, and we walk this journey together with these women until they're able to get their property back, or until we hit a dead end where we find maybe this property was already grabbed and there is no evidence to be able to recall the title deed back, maybe to the original owner. But we really fight with all that we can.